Hello everyone, this is Nitin and this video is for the arithmetic encoding process. This video will help you to understand what is arithmetic encoding is. Before going into detail what arithmetic encoding, just revise what is the Huffman. Okay, because this arithmetic and Huffman, these all belongs to the statistical method. Then what is the difference in the Huffman coding and the arithmetic encoding? Like the Huffman codes, okay, in Huffman coding what we do, we create a tree. From that tree we create the code word for every symbol, and then we transmitted that code word according to the appearance of symbol in message. Now after that we also calculate the entropy, average length, efficiency, etc, etc, etc. In this code we transmit code word for the every symbol, so the length of transmitted message goes on increasing. If message size increases, the transmitted code word is also increases. Also there are few limitations of Huffman. These limitations, one of these limitation is the problem with the skewed probability. Huffman coding is not very efficient to deal with the skewed probability. Now what is the skewed probability? Skewed probability is nothing but consider for sake we have a source which contain only three symbols A, B and C, and where A have the probability of 0.8, B and C have the 0.1 and 0.1. Here the probability for a particular symbol is very great or very high as compared to the rest of the symbols. So Huffman is not very efficient to deal with such a probability, and to overcome this we have the arithmetic encoding. The another advantage of arithmetic encoding is that here we do not create the code word for a single alphabet or separate alphabet. Instead what we do, we create a code word which is also known as a tag for the entire sequence. So this is the beauty of arithmetic encoding. To go into the detail of arithmetic encoding, to get the concept, let's go through a simple example. Now consider that we have a source which having the three symbols A1, A2, A3, and they have the probabilities like 0.4, 0.5 and 0.1 respectively, and we have to generate a tag value for the sequence A2, A2, A2 and A3. Okay, now the process start with the unit interval. Now look at the definition of this interval. It have the square bracket 0, comma 1 and the normal bracket. Why the interval is mentioned in these two different kind of brackets? The meaning of this notation is like it contains the range of real number from A to B. It includes A but do not include B. It means this range 0, 1 it contains 0, 0.1, 0.11 up to 0.9999, but it will never contain 1. Okay, after that we have to prepare this table and we have to fill this table to get the tag value. But before going into the detail, first we have to do some calculations. Okay, the calculation is we have to find the low and high value for each and every symbol. Now how to get this value? Consider, first create a line. For the sake of understanding, I draw a very broad line. This is not actual line, it's more look like a rectangle, but for the sake of simplicity we consider it as a line. And here I have defined the two limits. The lower limit is 0 and upper limit is 1. It is nothing but the range of the line that we specified here, 0 to 1. Now the next task is we have to divide this line into the three part, because we have the three symbols A1, A2, A3. So the resultant line will be look like this, and this line have the numbers like 0, 0.4, 0.2 and 1. How this number comes here? Look here, the probability of A1. First look at the line. The probability of A1, which is A1 is placed here, it is having the value 0.4. Therefore 0 plus probability of A1 which is 0.4, we get 0.4 value. So I mark here 0.4. above this A2 stand. The probability of A2 is 0.5. Therefore 0.4 plus A2 probability, which is 0.5, we get 0.9. And finally we add the probability of A3 to the 0.9, we get 1. Now here we get the three different part of the line, A1, A2, A3, and these three different part is also known as a chunk. So this is the chunk of A1, this is the chunk of A2, and this is chunk of A3. Now we have to define the low and high range for each and every symbol. So we prepare a simple table where A1, A2, A3, these are the symbols. Now how I get this value, low and high values? These are also comes from this line. Now for the A1, if you look, its lower limit contains 0, therefore I write 0 here, and its upper limit, let's say its upper limit is 0.4, therefore high value of A1 is 0.4. If we consider A2, A2's lower limit is 0.4, therefore low of A2 is 0.4, and A2's higher limit is 0.9, therefore high of A2 is 0.9. Similarly, we calculate low and high for A3. After that, we move to the symbol. Now how this table is, I already prepared this table, okay, and for you I am doing this again. How I prepare this table I will explain you very shortly. Now to get this table we have to use two different formulas. Very first formula is new low, which is equal to old low plus range into low of symbol, and new high, which is equal to old low plus range into high of symbol. Okay, now this table, it begin with some initial values. Initially low range is 0 and high range is 1, and these are fixed, and we calculate the range, which is nothing but the difference between these two, 1 minus 0, 1. Okay, now look at the given sequence. In the problem statement, the given statement is A2, A2, A2 and A3. So first I write here the sequence, which is A2, 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 and this is A3. Okay, now we have to fill the blanks for A2, and the blank should be filled row by row. So first fill the blank of A2, then this A2, then this, and then this one. Okay, now for A2, so we have to calculate low of A2. How to get this? Use the formula new low. In this formula we have to use old low. Okay, now the value of old low is 0, the value of range is 1, and the low of symbol. Okay, now from where this low of symbol comes, from this prepared table. Here for the A2, low is 0.4, so we have to use 0.4 as a low of A2 and 0.9 as a high of A2 if required. So old low is 0, range is also from this 1, and low of symbol, which is equal to 0.4. Now we do the calculations. Therefore new low is equal to 0 plus 1 into 0.4, which is equal to 0.4. So we write down here 0.4, which is updated. Okay, now similarly we have to calculate the high range. Again use the same formula, old low plus range into high of symbol. Now we know that for A2, high of symbol, okay, for the A2 high is 0.9, therefore old low is 0 plus range is 1 into 0.9, which is equal to 0.9. Now we calculate the difference, which is equal to 0.5. That's all. So we completed the encoding for the A2, but we not transmit anything here. Now the next symbol is again A2. Now what we have to do, we have to update certain values. Now for A2, to calculate the low range, again use this formula new low equal to old low and etc, etc. Here the value of old low, now in this case the old low is nothing but 0.4 and range is nothing but 0.5. Low of symbol is taken from this table, which is equal to 0.4. So what we did here, the old low value is nothing but the value of low range from the previous row. So for this A2, for this row, this one is the previous row, and this is the low range. So it become old low for A2, and the range is also nothing but the value of range from the previous row, which is equal to 0.5. So like this way we take the values. Okay, so 0.4, I again do the calculation for you. 0.4 plus range is equal to 0.5, sorry, into low of A2, which is again 0.4, so which is equal to 0.6. that's all. So the next value is here 0.6. Similarly, we find the high value, which is equal to 0.85. Then the difference between these two is 0.25. Now this second is also encoded. The next symbol is again A2. For A2, again do the same calculation. Old low is nothing but 0.6, which we take from the previous row, and the range is 0.25. And after putting the values in the formula, what we get? 0.7 here and 0.825 here, and their difference is 0.125. okay, that's all. Now the last symbol is A3. For A3, the old low is 0.7 and the range is 0.125. After putting all the values, now again there is a certain change. For A3, low of symbol and high of symbol, these are different. Look at the figure. For A3, low is 0.9 and high is equal to 1. Therefore, put this value, be careful here, 0.9 and 1 here. Okay, putting this value, we get 0.8125 as the low range, and high range equal to 0.825. that's all. No need to calculate the range here. Okay, so here we prepare the table, it is completed. Now the final task is to write the tag value. Now the tag value is taken from the very last row. Here last row contain 0.8125 as a low range and 0.825 as a high range. Therefore your tag value, it become 0.8125 or average of these two value as shown here. So your tag is 0.8125 or average of this. Okay, so you can use any one of this value as your tag value and it can be transmitted. So like this way we have encoded the entire sequence A2, 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 A3, and here we are transmitting only a single code for the entire message. That's all. Thanks for the watching video.